Hello, and welcome back, guys. As we move into our third map of this series, we just concluded the last two, which was on Consulate and on Oregon, respectively. And well, it went 2-0 to Absolute Gaming. Absolute looked a lot better on map number two than they did. Well, actually, no, rather, HB looked a lot better on map number two than they did on map number one, as map number one ended 7-1 in the favor of Absolute, but map number two ended 7-5 in the favor of Absolute once again. So HB warming up a bit, but still a bit of a ways to get there over this hump. And the question right now is, are we going to end this at a 3-map series where we absolutely are going to sweep this best of 5, or are HB going to bring us to a map number 4? But guys, I'm Black and Blue. With me once again is Wrath. And dude, what a game we just saw during that last one.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the way HB approached the last round was a little peculiar. A lot of weird choices there, but again, they might have had that surprise strat that we were just talking about in these previous maps, and I'm really excited for this potential final map of the series. Again, Absolute looking really strong as we expect them to. HB definitely in that previous map, as you mentioned, this is so much better than they're showing on Consulate. Hopefully, this time around in Clubhouse, if I'm not mistaken, will be the way to go for them. You know, get that at least one map win. You want to take this one map at a time, and this could possibly be their starting point.
Hopefully, this is the turning point coming in here from HB to really get things back around their way. As we're moving into our third map, we can see the first ban coming in from Absolute, first and last, of course, because they're in the orange defensive side. This time, they're starting a defense. It was HB starting on the defensive side during the previous 2 maps. Absolute, though, it's their turn, and their first ban, I wouldn't be surprised if it's Maverick.
And it's actually Thatcher. Not a bad choice. Again, you kind of want to deny that big wall in a cash room. Nothing too surprising on the side of Absolute Gaming. They kind of want to play this. They're not really going for any target bans as Absolute. We know Absolute to be a very fundamental team, and they will go and stick by the meta and play R6 as an R6 game. You know what I mean?
Well, since HB are on the attacking side, I don't think you're going to ban Maverick, and they do not. They ban Monty instead, not wanting which is funny considering
that's weird. Yeah,
the fact they're the only team that has even brought Monty out. Like Absolute Gaming have very rarely ever used Monty historically, and so that's quite an interesting ban coming from HB. They obviously don't want to ban Maverick because they want to use him, especially since they're starting on the attacking side. But you're gonna ban Melusi here, and Absolute Gaming have been using Melusi to a decent ratio of success. I just don't think they really need Melusi as much as HB might have during these defensive rounds.
Yeah.
So it's still very interesting, these 2 bans coming from HB. Monty, a bit Melusi, understandable.
Yeah, the Monty one caught me off guard. It's like, oh, did Absolute Gaming not want to deal with a shield? Maestro ban, I wouldn't say he's a top ban on Clubhouse, or am I mistaken, Nico?
No.
But again, he's not a top ban, right? Like,
I guess they don't plan to use him anyways.
Yeah,
So
makes
Absolute
sense.
Gamer were just like, since we're not going to use him, let's just ban him so that they can't use him in any if they ever pull out the Maestro. Because I think there are more important bans here coming on Basement.
yeah.
In this case, though, Nomad is going to be in play, and Nomad is also a common ban when it comes to Basement. Maverick as well. So both of them are coming into play when it comes to playing on Clubhouse because, well, Nomad, obviously, so many roamers here can go for like long flanks that they really sometimes you don't have to. Well, actually, it's not that you don't have to, but it's more like it's not worth it to really go for it's not worth it to really go for the long roam clears. And so sometimes teams would just rather have the Nomad and cut off an area with some air jabs and not have to deal with bothering to watch that and clear it if there's actually a roamer coming in from there, because Clubhouse is very expansive and very wide spread. And so yeah, Absolute Gaming on the defense this time, going to be picking Basement to start things off, and it seems like they're going to be reinforcing here the hatch on stock. Nervash is probably going to be playing blue there as he has a rotation from Church and a bunch of ADSs to support him. And I don't doubt that Gerger is probably going to roam here towards either bar side or, if anything, right on top of him, which would be the gym side.
Yeah, those 2 reinforcements he did is pretty indicative of what his intentions are. But surprisingly enough, I don't think Absolute has won around with a Vigil yet. I could have missed something. But yeah, their success rate with Vigil for at least this series hasn't been all that great. Hopefully they want to turn it around in this map as well. Otherwise, HB, this will be their momentum builder. I would have thought they would have gone cash room first. I think this is the reason why they got the map pick. But either way, that map is still going to be really useful trying to open up any of the hatches if they choose to do that. But it does look like Aaron is already wary of early contact here on front lobby, and it's actually a good call as he did take a bit of damage so far though. No re-aggression on the side of Absolute Gaming. They just want to take their damage, distract, waste as much time, and I think that's honestly very safe and very brainy roamer play.
A good play coming in there, and he's gonna play it safe. The shoot out to drone, and he's gonna fall back here. Nervash back down into blue. And so they do know that he's somewhere here towards storage. He's giving his position away though, but Georgia's gonna find a frag here on Aaron Berger. That's a good one to find. He does find the Ash though, and that's a bunch of soft destruction removed, and Georgia is gonna be waiting here in gym as expected. Once again, looking down there towards Pool and Chusky. Looking up above. He's going to try and flush him out, but it's going to be very difficult right now because they don't have enough utility to really do that, nor time. A minute, 45 seconds left on the clock. Yes, there's still time, but it might take about a minute to really flush Georgia out here if you're not careful, if you're not swift with what you're doing.
With that being said, Jer has already done his job beautifully, you know, just wasting as much time as he possibly can. Meanwhile, HB, they would be hurting a lot losing that Ash early. You really need those breaching rounds to open up the floor. They still do have the breaching charges on Schwak, and he's really the only soft breacher they have right now. And I don't think they want to expend any of their thermite charges to go for unnecessary breaching, but it does actually look like it's Chusky trying to clear out the Vigil here. I don't think that's optimal, but somehow it's still working out. Vigil essentially has done his job here. There's only a minute left and 2 down on the side of defense. Meanwhile, on the side of HB, they've only really lost the Ash. Did get chunked off. Here is Chusky, but still, this is still a very doable attack.
Well, he's going to try and open this hatch here in stock. That is above blue, and so that's going to force the player here inside blue, who is Bardock, now taking the place of Nervash, who previously went down. You're going to have to fall back as well. If they have a rotation, if they have a reinforcement, they can potentially patch things up, but since Church is not reinforced at all, there's no real point right now. Bardock is going to be trying to pick the stairs, not finding anything for now. Lodi might actually spot him out if he's careful here. Might actually have gotten an angle on it, but he does open up the hatch now. Nate is about to follow suit, but there are a bunch of ADSs here to support Bardock. Anyways, there's actually 2, I believe, at the very least. And so Schwag pushing in here. He's bleeding out currently because of the goo mine stuck on his foot. But he's actually just going to walk on in. Does not give a second doubt on what's going to happen. He's going to get found here. Maybe a bit too overeager from Schwag there, but Kincaid punishes him for that. And here Machibo's going to find the frag. Time is over. Chusky going to stick the plant. That's actually going to be Lodi sticking the plant. Still a 2v2 right now. Machibo was going to go for the pick, but a good find from Bardock. All he had to do was kill Lodi, the planter, and that's exactly what he did. That's a first strong round coming from Absolute Gaming to bring it back from a 5v, well, actually, yeah, 3v4.
Like we said, with that Vigil getting the early pick on the Ash and wasting that much time, that was already such a crucial thing for Absolute Gaming here. HB just do not want to give up that type of advantage here. I feel like Aaron Berger has been really hungry for these early fights, and picking Hibana, I don't think that'd be ideal. It's probably gonna be Schwak to be the first line of, well, offense for HB here. No big changes as well. Finally, we're going to Cash Room. Alibi on Cash Room. I guess it's for the shield. What do you think?
I'm not sure why they would bring Alibi right now. I think, if anything, where would they play Alibi? I'm trying to think. Maybe construction side is where they want to play her. Because, okay, your red stairs, you're probably going to have Jaeger play there anyways. In garage, you're probably going to have somebody with... You actually have Jaeger there too as well, now I think about it. But you might have Kincaid there. Gerger seems to just be setting up the site for now, though. We're going to see what exactly their plan is with the shield here. I don't doubt that he might actually be playing inside construction or something like that. Or maybe even there towards the bedroom and gym side. But for now, we can see him still here inside Cash. And he might just be helping to anchor things down with him.
Yeah, honestly, I love the diversity of picks that this season has brought up upon us. You know, I mean, last season was really good too.
Ooh.
It's just that this is one of the more creative seasons, or it's shaping up to be that way. Because I don't think we'd see these types of picks in the previous one anyway. But oh, that's a very early Nomad charge. I guess very wary of that garage run out. I don't think we actually see that too much these days anymore. The run out from garage, maybe here on Blue Window and or what do you call that? Stock room, if I'm not mistaken.
Stock room. Like it's well, at this point, it's kind of expected that you're going to go for it anyways. That you're going to go for the run out, and so teams just don't anymore because they realize that
Yeah.
okay, if I do, I'm probably going to give myself up. I'm going to have to shoot a claimer or an air jab, and that's going to give my perception away, which doesn't make it worth it. But as expected here, Georgia does play here towards the gym and bedroom side instead. He did place the shield down there towards Steel Stairs, though, too. I think that's the Jaeger playing inside Steel Stairs. No, it's actually Bardock. It's going to be Jaeger here and towards Garage. Makes sense. Jaeger has a bit more range on him of effectiveness than Bardock might have on the Bandit, and so they're going to be playing him inside Garage. Typically, the player or the operator that you have that has the most range is the one you're going to want to play inside Garage. That's like typically you might see a Rook or a Doc there, even a Maestro, or an Echo too. In this case, Jaeger's got the best gun for the job, and that's exactly why they placed him in Garage instead. Gerger, he is going to be playing this like construction side and the bedroom side and gym side for the runouts, so he can actually hop out and deny the balcony here, and that will actually help them take control of CCTV a bit more. And Nervash, he's getting lots of pressure right now. 3 operators already trying to push in from his side, so the attackers are trying to make their way. Schwak is going to be crawling his way up. He has to be careful though, as Gerger, he's going to get found. Nervash is actually going to get found, rather. LCO is going to find that there on the Nomad, and so they're going to help him out, as Garage control has now been taken and seized by HB.
This is looking a lot better for HP. This looks so well practiced and well oiled. And this is just really showing the upside of this team. You know, the series isn't over yet, but this team, I hope they don't, or rather, I hope they continue with all of their practice and playing games, because I think this is by far their best execute that we've seen compared to the previous maps. And actually, Chusky, that is the cue to jump right on in, but he does step on a Legion attack. He is going to panic just a bit here. The defense is finally reeling their heads. Well, the smoke will fall. Can't even activate his own gadget here. Bardock will find Ehrenberger, but it is a 2v3. Cannot even deny the plant, as HB will take down the rest of the defending team and take this round in the bag for themselves.
A good opening round again from HB, but once again, this is the second time now that they've won the first round. Previously, on the last map on Oregon, they won round number 1. This time, they win round number 2. And
Number 2, yeah.
HB... Maybe third time's the charm. Maybe this might be the map they're going to be able to bring it home and bring us to a 4-map series, because right now they're tied up, and that's good, but they still have a ways to go, because really Absolute Gaming still have a 2-map cushion, and that's a lot to really bank on.
Yeah, and we finally see a Buck here. Now that I think about it, Ash getting her 3rd breaching charge slightly nerfs Buck, because I guess Buck is Buck's one of those ops where you kind of just want to expend all his stuff on opening up the floor, right? Meanwhile, if you can do that as an Ashe, and you can deny Banshees, and you can deny shields, Buck just can't do that. Buck can open up a lot of floors, sure, a lot of soft breach, but he just doesn't have the options Ashe does. Ashe has now, and I think objectively speaking, Ashe has the better guns as well.
I really would like to them for, I guess, like the reason why they removed Buck is that Sledge is more playable.
Please give my nades back.
But I mean, Buck has always been, you know, more viable from down to up vertically, and Sledge has always been better from up to down vertically, anyways, because he has nigh infinite amount of destruction, right? And when, of course, having Buck when it's up to down also helps, because he can create really big holes really quick, and a succession of them too. But he's just fallen super out of meta right now because of the fact that he's lost his nades. It almost seems like, if there was a way that he could have like just 1 nade instead of 2, that would actually, I think, be a good compromise. But I don't think UB are going to really do that.
Yeah, it's just like I mentioned, you know, Ashe can do what Buck does now, especially with the 3rd breaching round, plus more options, plus better gun, plus 3 speed. So please, buff Buck.
So I'm surprised Buck is coming to play. Of course, when they did nerf him initially on, we still saw him come up a bunch in APAC in North America especially, but we didn't really see him from EU for good reason too. But this might actually be a frag going towards the side of Nervash, but he's not going to find it. Almost gives Lodi there a haircut, but for now, able to escape with his life.
Yeah, just a trim just off the top here. Chusky though will have to go for this thermite breach. I think they're gonna go for the same thing, but this time around, not a lot of pressure being exuded towards Garage here. Actually, still hanging out outside. And again, I don't really want to focus on this Buck pick, but I find it really peculiar if they're gonna go for this style of attack with nobody really controlling the bottom floors. And Nervash actually just spots someone crossing there, chooses not to fire. Actually, we'll look for the drone. very lucky that one of the players in HP decided not to peek with a drone in Union.
Yeah.
But again, another drone dying without a player peeking. But again, well, there goes Aaron. There goes the buck that we talked about for 5 minutes.
What's interesting was that the buck here was still like trying to contest in a place that doesn't really matter. He was trying to play off of the big balcony where really kind of wanted the buck to roam from underneath, right? So he can go vertical and clear out cash room and CCTV from underneath. But I guess they were a bit afraid too of K&K on the roam here on the vigil. They knew there was a vigil up, and so they were like, okay, it's gonna take too much time to try and clear him out by myself. And so if we commit 2 members to try and clear him out, it might be too much of an effort. And so Lottie's gonna find an opening pick in the brush. That's a good pick. Try and bring things back to her, but Jer, that's gonna be a double kill now for him this round as he finds LCO this time. That's both the buck and the nomad removed, and so a lot of utility already being removed here from the side of HB. What can they do in this situation? 40 seconds left on the clock, and it's all gonna be up to them to make a play.
That's right. They expended so much resource to get Nervash and still getting chipped down trying to come up these garage stairs here. No map control loss whatsoever for Absolute, despite losing all these members here. They look a bit those members are pretty much auxiliary to this defense. Lottie will find Matchy Bros as well. He finally finds an opening he can exploit and will go for the plant, but Kincaid does have the right idea. If he's right above him, oh, the impact is there, will deny it. 10 seconds left. If Lottie knows, oh no, he shot the clone. This hologram is gonna give his position away, and even if he won that fight, there is just so little time for him to do anything.
I feel like Lottie got deterred by the fact that it was an explosion. He probably thought it was either like a nitro cell or he was about to get killed, because literally he was less than a half second away from completing that plant, and I think he should have just stuck it. Of course, hindsight is 2020, but I think he kind of got a bit shooked, for lack of a better word, by that impact thrown by the vigil there on Jer. It actually wasn't Jer. It was K on the vigil that time. This time it's gonna be Jer, as Jer I think finds a triple kill that round off of the alibi, and Jer gets K gets a double with a vigil. So good round coming in from Absolute Gaming once again, and unfortunate there that he wasn't able to stick it at the end on the plant.
That's right, and at least HB they know how to play in the meta, but they're not afraid to experiment, especially with that buck pick. But now we are gonna have another basement hold. HB was a little more successful here had they not got caught up with the vigil of Jer. Hopefully they want to replicate their success just a little more refined this time. Jer seems to go for the exact same reinforcements, trying to hold off from Bar, opening the hatch from Jim, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Again, I think it's Aaron's over-aggression that kind of cost him that round, but right now Aaron's still playing the Hibana, wants to play a bit more reserved.
I mean, now that he's on the Hibana instead of the Ash, he kind of has
He has to be, yeah.
And while that aggression might be warranted on an Ash, obviously you don't want to be the first one getting picked here on Hibana, so we can expect him to be playing a bit more conservatively. Of course, actually, okay, so
Look at this.
Look at this. Nervash might actually find a frag here. Oh! He gets him half. He's not going to continue for the peak, though. Maybe if he had his primary out, he could have probably gotten a free kill there. Actually, I think he just wanted to try and
send a message.
Heat check. Go for a heat check, yeah. Maybe land a one-tap if he could, but if not, then it's not worth it.
Yep.
At least to him.
At least to him. But yeah, I just find it really interesting that HB was running with their lineup. Now, again, we're on a new round, but so far their approach hasn't changed. I think, like we mentioned in the first map, they have the right idea of putting bodies to cover the flanks and whatnot, but somehow they're missing on the hotspots. They're not putting them where they need to be, and Nervash actually just kind of chilling here with this nitro cell. Kincaid making, or rather opening up another angle for himself or a teammate to peek into. We finally hear the breaches here. I think he was actually trying to impact trick the Hibana, but I think that was too short. Has to spend another two.
I think he denied the first initial one, but ooh, there, Aaron Berger. He's gonna find Kincaid. So what happened was Aaron shot 4 pellets, which would have opened up the hatch, and he was able to deny it for now. Kincaid with 1 impact, but then he shot 2 to try and bait out another impact, but I don't believe Kincaid had the impact left, or he just didn't want to go for it anymore. And so after the 2 popped, he shot out the last 2, and those popped as well, opening the hatch now. And he uses the hole made by the first 2 to find Kincaid in return. So that's actually a good outcome from Aaron Berger.
Yep, just a little expensive, but it doesn't matter. It's a peak, rather a pick in return here. Looks like there's gonna be quite a bit of aggression towards blue and not a lot of resistance. Looks like Jer is actually changing up the tempo here. Lodi will actually find Bardock on that bandit. Machi Bros with that SMG-11, also reliable, finding the fragger on Aaron Berger. 3v4 situation, but
Look
so
at
far
this.
Absolute Gaming. Oh dear me. Oh my goodness, Jer with a trigger discipline as well. He's sneaking up on him, Nico.
He realizes he made his way down. He probably gave the call that he went down here towards main stairs already. He's going to try and go for the big Machi Bros, holding on for dear life here on the site. Schwach will go down. Jerry's going to fall back in the side, but he's actually going to get found. A bit ill-advised there to just go down towards the hatch, and Lottie's going to get a double spray down, and LCO will confirm another round here, and that ties things up for HB. Jer could have, honestly, not to put it all on him, but he could have won that round for them.
Yeah. I honestly would have thought he would have went down basement stairs and then killed possibly 2 or 3 people at best. But I guess they needed the immediate help onto site, so I can't really blame him for doing that. Either way, as we've mentioned time and time again, hindsight is 2020.
He probably, right before dropping down the hatch, knew that Machi was there, so it's probably safe to drop down. But then suddenly Machi dies like a second before he was about to drop down, and by that time he was already committed to doing so, and it does get found there. Unfortunate for Jer. I still think it would have been the right play, even without hindsight, to go down into the main stairs, because maybe, you know what I'm thinking, because I'm sure that's what he would have done if he knew that's where the Nomad was, but it almost seemed like he was confused where the sound was coming from. You know, R6 does that sometimes, and
Yeah.
it happens to everybody, and so I think that's exactly what happened, because even when Nomad was right beside him and walking past him, it kind of seemed like he was confused on where the Nomad was exactly. On LCO, he was looking towards bar, he was looking towards a pool table for a bit, so it almost seemed like he was unaware or really unsure on where it was exactly, and so I don't necessarily blame him for going down towards kitchen stairs, because I do believe if he had the information that he was towards main stairs here, the Nomad on LCO, he would have actually pushed main stairs and probably won the round for them. But in that case, 2-2 on the board. Basement is what they're going to be holding once again, and they're going to let go of the vigil for now as Jer comes back into the Jaeger.
I think I missed where they're holding. I think they're going for a basement again, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, they are. The year pick, I think this would be a lot better, especially that Absolute is looking to be a bit more compact this time around. I'm actually quite surprised how passive Jer was in that previous round, knowing that there were a million sound spots. But again, sound is such a deceptive thing in R6, you know? Sometimes you hear it another way, sometimes you don't. But it does look like they're still trying to gear up to get a decent roam clear around here. The preemptive anti-breach here as well from the Kaid. Jer's still looking to pressure Garage, though a little more passive this time around as well. LCO has already made his way towards basement stairs, and he's gonna air jab that one out just to prevent any rotations whatsoever.
You'll be able to open the hatch here above blue, and Schwach is going to be holding the storage, just in case somebody tries to come out from in there. And Bardock is going to be, I believe, trying to Kaid trick this hatch right now above the connector, above Moto, some people like to call it. It's also called Memorial Room, but some people call it Moto. Dredger holding here inside blue, walking in, and seems like for now a decent hold coming in from Absolute Gamer. They're not trying to go for any contests, right? They're not trying to go for a peek, as there's an air jab right here towards main lobby. If anything, all they can really do right now is try and Nitro self-deny. I don't think Nervash has impact, so they only have impacts here in Gate, so they can actually impact trick here the kitchen hatch, but they can only do it up to 2, and HB have more hard breachers than that. They have Ace, they have Hibana, and they have Thermite, so that's not going to really matter in the long run. So what they might want to use the impacts for is maybe trying to deny the breaches on towards the big walls later on.
Oh my god.
For now, trying to deny and impact trick these hatches are not going to be important, as Schwach is trying to get some sight lines going his way from kitchen, but those can be very dangerous too with Nitro Cell still here up on Bardock.
Yeah, I like this idea from HB as well to pressure from Dirt. I think that's something they were... I mean, it's not really common to pressure Dirt these days, but still, you know, it's nice to throw it in there just to have another angle of attack for your team. Meanwhile, there is a lot of defense focused towards blue. I think they have the read on HB that is definitely their main avenue. So far, this angle that seems a little uncontested, or if not impossible to contest for Aaron Berger, is absolutely perfect. But again, Absolute Gaming, I love the composure here. Not giving away anything despite all the sounds and all the crazy things happening around the map. 28 seconds as well. They have to get going. HB, otherwise this is gonna be another free one for Absolute, at least this round.
Here it is, smoke down. Kincaid's gonna find a frag in Chusky. That's gonna bring it down to a 4v5 situation in the favor of Absolute Gaming. Nitrocell out. Will he be able to land anything? No, he won't. That's gonna fall short. They're gonna have to go for the execute now, though, as Matthew was able to find a frag. The trade will come in, though. Nervash and Jers are gonna find a frag apiece. And this is looking so terribly now for HB. Aaron's able to find a frag, yes, but that's not gonna be it. As defenders here on the side of Absolute Gaming do take the 5th round. That's gonna be round number 3 going their way. And it almost seemed like it might have been doable, but Absolute Gaming making the best use of what is, the remnants of like the 20-second meta and really bringing everything down when it comes to the final stages of the round. HB not able to pull it back.
Yeah, again, they had the dirt. They had a person in dirt, but so far that person didn't come out. And another interesting pick is Twitch. Again, Twitch, great gun. F2, always amazing. Just a little wilder these days compared to its previous iterations. Meanwhile, Jur will have to swap on to the Valkyrie. This is definitely gonna be, I would say this is even a difficult take for HB, just knowing that Valkyrie can bring up so much information and they're already established command of the site.
Bardock here is going to be on the Vigil. Jur finally on the Valkyrie. The first time we've seen Valkyrie actually come out here, and since Valkyrie isn't banned, I'm surprised they haven't been pulling her out earlier. For one, we're moving into the end of this first half. Round number 6 coming underway, and HB have a chance to tie it up here once again, as they did on map number 2 at the end of the half. So this might be their chance to try and kind of mirror what happened during map number 2, but then eventually convert that into a win, because, well, I do think that their attacking side here on the side of when playing on Clubhouse isn't the best, but their defensive might work out a lot better for them for the side of HB. So try to get a 3rd round on the board would be very nice for the side of HB as we move into the last round of this half. You can look at the spawn pick here coming from Gariath with the bullet holes. Hopefully for his sake that's going to work out, but nobody might actually cross there for him to actually be able to apply that.
Yep. And I was just saying that HB has been thriving when Absolute has been a bit more aggressive in their defense, but when Absolute just kind of turtles up and when they play hyper compact, HB just doesn't have the answer for it. So far though, HB has been slowly adjusting, but hopefully it'll come in time. Otherwise, this hyper turtle, hyper defensive style Absolute Gaming is gonna remain unchecked and uncracked.
Chusky playing up top here. He's gonna actually, since they do only have him as their hard breacher, I think you're going to rely on him to try and open up this big wall, but they do have a bandit, so you have to deal with that. As LCO does get taken down here from Jur, going with a great peek towards the outside, not able to confirm the kill. He has to be careful though, and there it is. That's exactly what I was saying. He has to be careful because he can't get over eager and trying to find then confirm that kill.
No!
Bosch, oh no, he does get air jab, not expecting it. Does not hear the sound cue. It can be very, very difficult to hear with amongst all the gunfire, and so that's a good opening pick coming in here from the side of HB already. Lodi takes some damage. I believe that was from a Nitro Cell thrown in, or it was some other... Where could he have came from? It was a destructible. I think it was from his own nade, if anything, now I think about it, because that's the only like explosive that was thrown out. There's still the Nitro Cell Endure here, so I think he damaged himself with his own nade, if anything. Machi Bros looking here towards Garage. LCO, he does know that Machi has to be under there towards the steel stairs. Lodi has to be careful because right around the corner is going to be Bardock on the Jaeger, who is able to find Schwak. And that's a good find from them. If he can try him up with a second one, no he's not. He's going to get shut down. And Raph, this looks like another round going to HB to tie it all up.
And I may have willed it into, or rather spoken it into existence. HB thrives when Absolute Gaming goes for aggressive plays, and again, that's just a testament to how mechanically gifted the players are on HB. But so far, this round isn't, it's not done and dusted yet. There's still 2 members to put out of their misery here. LCO is the only member on HB to have low HP, so he has to look out for that. Meanwhile, everyone else looking healthy. Aaron Berger was healthier, and now Jur puts Chusky 6 feet under. That plant is going to come down. That Nitro Cell could potentially deny it, but no, Aaron Berger with the F2 will find Machi Bros. Jur is the last man alive here. 20 seconds to hold on. He finds one. This is still very doable. 1v2 situation, and that is a fairly low Nomad as well. I love this pixel. I love this peak, actually. Oh my goodness. I was actually thinking that Nomad might just overextend, but look at the patience by the Maverick here. This could potentially lose them the round, but no, the ARX will pull through for HB Gaming. And still, that was a little too close for comfort as they were dropping members left and right.
He actually had the info there towards the end of the Valkyrie, and so almost an inch away from landing that shot and potentially turning it into a 1v1, of which I think he knew too that the Maverick was there right beside him. Obviously, he did not know where exactly, that's why he didn't go for the wall bang, but I do think they had a Valcam inside sight for some sort of information, or at least towards Garage, to know that there was a player towards Garage. A pause might come in. No, there is no pause. That doesn't exist. But actually, speaking of, with the new patch that's coming out, or I think it just rolled out, you don't have to rehost anymore. Yeah, you don't have to rehost anymore because it's going to be coming out soon, as far as I know. I'm not sure when it's going to be coming out, but all I know is that it will be coming out soon. You don't have to rehost anymore because they're adding custom lobbies into, I mean, they're adding pauses into custom lobbies now, so you can actually pause the game as you're the lobby host. You don't have to rehost anymore and wait for somebody to reconnect if there is a disconnect. So that's a good part of the game's health being updated here and fixed by Yubi. Thanks, guys.
And I love how Operation Health has been going strong for a million years now. Never. Oh my god. As soon as I say health, Ehrenberger loses a chunk of it. As, again, many mishaps are born from drones. The drones are the hardest things to hit in this game and cause the most accidents. It's a proven fact.
That is very true. Drones, they're kind of like the crystal lizards of Rainbow Six, really, if anything. So, 3-3 on the board. And let's see if Absolute Gaming are going to be able to extend this, and rather, we're going to be able to end this here. It's going to be up to HB to extend this series up to a 4th map, because Absolute Gaming are already up 2-0 here in the best of 5. So, one game is all they need to really take this. And yeah, we're going to be playing on Cash from CCTV. That's what they choose to hold first here, HB. And Absolute Gaming already have drawn their way into stock. LCO is going to be playing inside blue.
That's right. Again, Absolute Gaming, they just kind of want to replicate that Hyper Turtle style that they've been doing. They've been very, very effective with it. HB, like I mentioned, they really, really shine when the enemy team is also aggressive, you know, so that's very hard to match. But I think Absolute realizes as well. They're like, you know what? Nah, we're not gonna go for any crazy hero plays. We're gonna play this right. We're gonna play this fundamental. Meanwhile, Schwack is actually in such a forward position here, holding bedroom while being prone in cons. I don't think that's very safe to do, but again, aggression is the name of the game for HB. Meanwhile, Aaron Berger trying to cook something up, trying to get a peek towards garage door, but so far no dice for him. And Kincaid just taking a little bit of electrocution damage here. Be careful of your feet, sir. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
That is very far up to making. Actually missed a few spots there. He can clean it up though, I do believe. Oh. I think it's the very left end of it is what he needs to clean up. That is very scary. And there they do finally remove the reinforcement there on the big wall. And so they're going to be able to open it up as well. I think he's just going to burn his canister and do that because they do have a sledge, but I don't think they want to risk having his
oh my god. Oh. Every time Kincaid...
This is so scary.
It is. Right, it's giving me a heart attack, but it doesn't matter. It was actually just a ruse as Jur is infiltrating the back of the site, destroying every defender in front of him. Chusky was the latest to fall. This Ella looks like a prime candidate for the 3rd frag. Now Schwack knows what's happening and he's not overextending, but those Ying Candelas will actually blind his own teammate. Schwack will find one and Aaron Berger will chime in finding Bardock as well. It is a 3v3 situation here, but that site has already been penetrated and getting lit up by Jur, finding a 3rd for himself. Nervatch chiming in, finding Aaron Berger. LCO is the last legs of this defending team, or for at least this round. He is full HP versus fairly low totals for Jur, but it doesn't matter as Jur with the R4C will shred him to bits.
I believe that was a triple kill from Jur. Double kill rather to open things up. He found 2 kills to start the round off. Coming in,
yeah.
Did he have 4? Was that a 4K? Yeah. It might have just been actually. You are right. He came in there from the back window of CCTV, blitzed on in, found a double kill to open things up, and then found the final kill as well to end things down. And so, Absolute Gaming, a round now over HB once again. They are looking good here on their attack so far. Of course, HB were able to tie it all up at the end of the last half, but the first opening round of this half looking really good on the attack for Absolute. So CCTV and Cash is what we're going to be playing once again here for the side of HB. No sixth pick coming in from them. I would like to see a change up from Ela, from Schwak. I think he has the right idea. And maybe, Absolute might rush them, and so let's play the Ela to try and dissuade that. But in that case, I think Absolute were good enough to drone on in to realize that, like, okay, there's no Ela Goo Mine here towards the back of the CCTV window, so let's just rush it. That's the one place that's open. So while Ela can work, I don't think in this situation she might be the best pick, but they were going to be pulling the shield out on her. And so this tells us that they really want to hold on to construction side here. They have an ADS to support her as well. I think she should move that shield though, just like a foot back, so that the ADS is really helps, or rather protects the player inside and behind the shield in construction.
And I'm honestly still worried, or rather, I'm still recovering from the fact that that Maverick was walking back and forth uncontested, opening that big wall. I feel like somebody was gonna shoot his foot sooner or later, but that never came to fruition. Meanwhile, in the round we have right now, AG still doing the things that they normally do. Hopefully this time around though, HB can patch up their hose, because I think that was such a gigantic leak, letting the Ash walk in onto site like that. And what? Machi Bro's having a bit of issue finding that camera.
It's okay. It happens to the best.
It happens, yeah. These guys are professionals. Don't doubt them. Yeah, Ella pick, as you mentioned, they have the right idea, but Ella direct gunfights against the lineup that Absolute Gaming has, not very ideal here. Nothing too much, nothing too crazy, except Lodi will get hit by a drone strike specifically targeted onto him. What an arm, whoever threw that nade. I think that was actually Kincaid.
Yeah. Throwing that nade. I do believe they moved the shield back a foot too, like I suggested here on the Ela shield on construction. So that's it's looking really good right now, at least for the side of HB. Macho Bros, you guys get taken down though. I'm not sure how he was or who took it. Oh, it must have been. It must have been Aaron Berger here on the Wamai to find that pick at least. That's the only player who is in position to even shoot towards him. So Kincaid once again doing this exact same thing. Very scary.
It's so scary.
I don't understand why he opens up like the vertical line.
Right? Yeah.
Because they have a sledge anyways. So they could have just hit it out once they do open the top and bottom anyways. So very interesting to see.
Nor, honestly, I'm curious why he's opening it on his right side as well. I mean, if he wanted to do that, I think the left side would be a much safer option. But my god, Lodi nearly gets down by this very angry sledge. Was thinking about expending his nade, try to flush him out, but decides not to. That extra breaching round from Ash really coming into play. Meanwhile, Lodi, escaping near death, will find Nerve Ash, but doesn't matter as Jur is there to trade. Knows that someone is behind the shield. It's actually Schwak trying to take the direct aim duel here. Will safely rotate towards Cons, but oh, pretty risky rotation there. Back into Cash Room. Now Bardock does have the long angle here, so this is pretty difficult to contest for any of the defenders really. We do have the Nomad getting snuffed out by the roaming LCO. Kincaid will get a quick 2 for him, and the front of this site is actually uncontested. Interestingly enough, Bardock will actually win the duel, even though Schwak got the first shots landed. And that's actually Jur closing out the round on LCO. HB, I think their defensive philosophy is a little confusing, but I get their idea. It's just, again, their execution just needs a little bit of work.
5-3 on the board, and Absolute Gaming are a single round away from bringing us into match point and really tournament series point here for the side of HB, because if they lose this map, then that's it, right? Obviously, Absolute Gaming are up 2-0, and so pressure is on HB right now to bring it back. They're going to be moving down, though, to the basement, as Church and Arsenal Room is going to be what we're going to be playing on here, HB. Jaeger, Kaid, Legion, Mute, and Pulse to bring out. Pulse, very interestingly enough. I think the Pulse, where he's really going to come into play here, is going to try and deny Kitchen Hatch, because if anybody steps in the kitchen, boom, they can expect to be blown up.
Yep. That's basically what they want to do with a Pulse. But again, I hope that they get their Pulse online, because that's been a recurring theme for HB as well. In the first map, their Pulse got taken up way too early for the Pulse to really pressure anyone. But again, they've learned from their mistakes, and these games are only getting closer and closer. And potentially, this could be the first map on the board for HB as well.
Definitely could be. And HB, will they be able to make that come into fruition, though? That's a question. HB are going to be doing a pretty similar thing to what Absolute have been doing, honestly, during the defensive rounds on basement. And so you're going to have Jaeger play blue once again with ADSs to support him rotation in towards Church. I'm not sure where their reinforcements are going to be, but it seems like they're going to open this wall up into blue also from Arsenal room. And so they haven't been reinforcing anything really on site. I assume Church wall they reinforce, yeah. Arsenal into blue they reinforce probably too, there by the generators, but they haven't done that yet, at least from the point of views that we've seen. And at this point, you really want to get on that because, well, the game's already starting, the round's already started. We're already 2 minutes and 35 seconds left on the clock, and I'm not sure if they're done even setting up yet.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, HB is really taking a lot of cues and a lot of inspiration from the LATAM teams, if you haven't noticed as well. But again, just a little bit more refining in that technique. Then I think that their playstyle will finally come into a full bloom. But this time around, Absolute Gaming has clamps on that. They will find pretty much an uncontested and untricked hatch here. Actually misses the trick as well. I thought that would have been a free Kaid trick. It's actually Bardock paying for his sins opening that hatch up. We do have LCO though in a very deep room. Potentially could find 2 players here on bar. But it's actually Kincaid raining death from Moto. It's actually Lodi fighting Jur as well. This is looking a little bit better for HB as the round progresses, but LCO finds one. Oh, the patience. I love the veteran plays. Please don't let this bite you in the back. He gets one. There's still a potential second frag to be had here, but nobody's crossing here. I love the patience as well, just kind of reeling back to safety. So this is such a great looking round for HB. However, Kincaid will take out LCO, and finally that roamer has been dealt with.
A good find there to at least deal with LCO, but the damage has been done. They've lost 2 members already. Trusky taking some damage of his own, but he knows he just has to fall back. Doesn't have to contest this, really. Is he going to hot drop into this hatch? He might just, actually. Start in the moment. Nope. He's going to back off, open it safely, and naturally try and nade here blue. But there is an ADS there to eat it up. Another one is not going to eat up the one towards Arsenal, but that nade will drop, and he's not going to time the drop with his nade, actually, and so I thought that's what he was going to do. That's why he threw it into Arsenal, so that once it does explode, he can drop in and use a sound key to cover his push. But there also is an angle towards blue, and so it's going to be very difficult to even take blue in the first place, and you can see exactly why here. He drops down, gets killed all the way from dirt. Lodi was all the way in dirt, and he still killed him. That's exactly what I'm talking about. There's 3 people with sightlines right now into the blue position. You obviously have the Legion here on their Vash, not their Vash, rather, sorry, the Legion on Schwak playing inside blue. Then you also have Lodi in dirt with a sightline towards the blue hallway, and you also have another player, I believe is Aaron Berger, looking in from Church in the blue. So blue is the last place you want to go right now as Absolute Gaming.
That's right, Lodi will win a duel against Nervash though, and Machi Bros is the last person alive, but Chusky will clean it up and get another round on the board for HB. HB looking hella fantastic right now. I think they tie it up or just bring it within 1.
Yep,
but
1.
Absolute Gaming looked a little disjointed there, losing a lot of members early on. I think that LCO flank, or rather the LCO roam, was really key to the success of that round as well.
It definitely played a big factor in it, and you can see LCO trying to repeat the success of that with breaking Jaeger once again. You're going to pull out Vigil though on the Schrock, so maybe they're realizing, okay, Absolute are giving us, you know, some avenues to really exploit when it comes to roaming and flanking, because they have been decently successful with the roam game here for the side of HB, and I do think they want to apply more of that. So gym and bedroom is what we're going to be going to, interestingly enough, and I'm very curious to see the fact that they have both a Vigil and a Jaeger here on gym and bedroom, and a Doc as well. I assume Doc is probably just going to anchor down in sight, right, and try and hold on here and help Trusky out, and the rest of the 3 are going to play off site, if anything. Maybe logistics even, to try and contest it for a bit, but what I think the idea here is to, as a reinforcing, you can see here towards Cash, hold on to Cash side, play Garage, maybe even fall back, and just pretty much keep on staggering their retreat all the way till they get to site and hold off the offense from early on.
10 seconds to go.
Yep. And man, Again, this is still one of those sites where I guess they don't have a choice, but this dock pick. Oh, this dock pick is looking to look dock things as Aaron Berger looks to press his aggression as early as possible. Now, I feel like that'd be a real ring dinger if he found one this early, but Bardock has already caught up to his ways, though Aaron's playing a little more passive. Oh, nope, no lines. The trees denied that. But again, I think Doc is one of the more polarizing picks. Again, a heal, just nullifying the pick, or rather the poke damage, is one of those things that keeps him around. At the same time, what other utility does he really bring? He doesn't have a shotgun. He doesn't have a shield. I think he only has like barbed wires and impacts, if I'm not mistaken. So I guess he's really just there for fragging power.
Yeah. So what we see right now is the defense is very heavily focused on holding here towards Cash and CCTV room. Now, one of the ways that I do like teams adjusting towards that is by literally just playing construction window, or even if you can open construction big wall, then that's going to help, because if you play construction window, you cut off like half of the entire top floor, right? And that's not going to allow the roamers here who are playing close to Cash room going to be able to fall back in the site, because they're going to have to well, cross construction, which you guys are holding already, and that's going to be very difficult as long as you're playing the window. And so what can you do as a roamer? You're going to have to fall back down the stairs or down the hatch, and that way you know that they're going to have to come back through a stairway, and that way you're going to be able to watch the flank a lot more easier, because that's one way of really going around like having to clear Cash manually. But they actually just do hard clear it coming in from the gym side, and not from the gym side, sorry, from the Cash and garage side, and so they're going to be able to open up here big wall as well. So this is very well taken and very well used here from the side of HB. I mean, Absolute Gaming on the attack, because they both used both of their thermite charges, and they've opened both big walls already. The one close towards Gym and the one close towards CCTV as well. And Jerry's going to find the frag on the Schrock, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. So you play this construction window, and you essentially cut the entire top floor in half. There's no way the people in Cash are going to be able to rotate back without going through the stairs, of which then you can expect the only way they can come back in the site is coming up through the main stairs, which you guys can hold as well from the breach. And Jojo is going to find another pick here. LCQ will get the kill on Nirvash, but the plant will go down. I believe this is probably a round going to Absolute Gaming.
Yeah, and I was just about to say that HB loves to play in spots that are susceptible to being isolated, as right now they're actually getting surgically erased from the game as Matchy Bros finds Aaron Berger down to Jur versus LCO, and LCO from that far rotate was a little helpless on anything really. And as I was saying, HB, although their style has been working out to a degree of success, it's just super susceptible to getting isolated and getting picked off, as Absolute Gaming is known to be, what are they doing? To be very greedy with map control, and that's just something HB has been giving up a lot.
Did you see that? Jur is on 18 frags here already.
Man,
this man is about to drop a 20 bomb. I believe he has a good chance in doing so. If he can get 2 this round, then you might be able to confirm that, because Absolute Gaming are looking on a tear. We are at match point, tournament point, really, grand finals already here. As you guys are watching, now's the time to like and share the stream, obviously, because it's the last day of the last match rather of this tournament. If they do win this, and so potentially this could be the last round of this entire thing. You are watching the Operation Neon Core Rainbow Six Siege tournament, guys, and Absolute Gaming are definitely tearing things up already as we're getting things off here. Round number 11 kicking underway, and pressure is on HB to make this defense a great one.
That is right, and for those who are just tuning in, don't forget this is the last R6 event of the year, for at least for our region, you know, so we do show a lot of love. We are a very tight-knit community, so you know, all the ounces of love are all appreciated. But this time around though, taking things a little bit differently is HB. This is definitely a relatively different setup, but still Schwak is so adamant on this Ella. I don't know, man. Like, this Ella pick hasn't been the best for him. It hasn't been super good to him, but maybe this could be the round to swing it in his favor.
Could be. They do have a chance here, of course, and so they're going to be opening up sidelines there towards the lounge, making sure that they can at least have some way to contest somebody trying to go vertical against them. And so they're also going to be opening up sidelines, the default ones, back in the garage. Not going to reinforce this wall towards construction. Going to opt to use it instead as a sideline from anybody coming out bedroom door. I don't think it's the best idea, to be completely honest.
Yeah, as Nervash is actually close to taking Chusky out of the equation. Good thing that Chusky got the hell away from that drone hole, as that could have been the end of him, and that could have been the end of the Mute. And that is a precious Nitro sub that they want to hang on to. Meanwhile, everything on the rest of the map is slowing down. Kincaid looks to replicate the art that he's done in the previous rounds. I am honestly so surprised nobody has shot him in the foot yet. In the 3 rounds he's done that.
Yeah, I'm so surprised that he hasn't either like gotten nitro celled out of it or somebody literally just prone and peeks him from that, because he's doing it so exposed to the point that like if you do that in rank, you're probably gonna die. It's funny that he's not dying right now, honestly.
It really is. It's like, well, I guess it's also the fact that HB's not putting pressure, or at least a lot of pressure on the site itself. They've been playing a lot of Garage, they've been playing a lot of Red Hall, but again, not a lot of pressure being exerted onto the site itself. We've actually seen Jur leak into that, and I think Bardock has the right idea as well. Will burn his thermite charge to get this, but that Mute is gonna deny him just a little bit now. Schwak is in a bit of a tricky situation here, getting hounded on from construction window. Meanwhile, Lodi trying to hold bedroom door as Aaron Berger is getting peppered by Kincaid, and Maxi Bros will actually find Aaron Berger getting pincered by 2 players. Jur actually leaks in, finding Lodi as well. Like I said, the site pressure is just so light on the side of HB as Schwack finds a kill, but Jur is quick on the trade. LCO already panicking, trying to get up back onto the site, but a quick Claymore round to take the dub and take the championship.
There it is. Absolute Gaming are your champions here for the Operation Neon Core, as Jur does secure 20 kills at the end of this game to secure that game. And what a series coming in from Absolute Gaming. They are perennially like the 3rd best team, sometimes the 2nd when here in the Philippines, and they definitely show that they are definitely, well, they deserve that crown and that title of being one of the best teams here in our region. And guys, congratulations to Absolute Gaming. They're going to be taking home the lion's share of the 50,000 peso prize pool. And what a series we just saw, Raf.
Indeed. Honestly, it did look like HB had their hand in that cookie jar, you know, but they just couldn't get deep enough, get that last cookie. Honestly, that's a lovely showing for a team that we haven't seen too much of, you know, trying to, or rather challenging our perennial 3rd team. Obviously, one of the best teams in the entire region, as you mentioned, to get them to play at that level. It's just that there were mistakes that they could have patched up in the series, but again, hindsight is 2020. They will roll over this tape, and after they do that, they're going to be stronger than ever, don't you think?
I do think so. HB do have, you know, lots of good fortune in their way ahead, because they are doing really well in these previous tournaments that we have seen them in previously. They have been getting decently far, and as you saw here in Neon Core, they got to the grand finals. And so not able to take a map away from Absolute, yes, but that is also obviously to the credit of Absolute, who are very good. HB are very green, they're very new here, and so I think more experience, more organization is what they need right now. They have most of the mechanics down. It's just really the application of them working as a complete unit. But guys, what a game we just saw. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. We're about ready to, you know, cap things off. But guys, this is a great way to really end, you know, like kind of like the year for the Rainbow Six PH community. This is pretty much like the last, you know, tournament that we have here for 2020. Promise 2021 is going to have more tournaments, of course, guys, but it's been such a pleasure. We've had so many big tournaments already here in the year alone, and this one, a great one to cap things off. It's kind of like a final, you know, kind of like almost like a Christmas party.
Yeah.
Going off with a bang here for the R6PH scene. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and well, this is going to be it for us now. That is going to be Absolute moving with the finals. Of course, they are going to be taking home the lion's share of the prize pool, and you guys have been watching the R6 Neon Core, but for the last time this year, I guess, is going to be me, Black and Blue, and with me, Raf. You see, saying goodbye for now, guys, and we'll see you next time.